Hey my YouTube friends and family, welcome back to my channel. To my new viewers, welcome to my channel. Please do not leave without hitting that red subscribe button, and when you subscribe, please turn your bell on so that you don't miss any upcoming uploads. Today I'm making some delicious red pea soup, but before we get into the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to Kathy Chin. Thank you for always watching and commenting on my videos, and your video request is coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. You know, it's Saturday and I just had to share this red pea soup video. So guys, even though it's traditional to use like a piece of beef bone to make your soup, this is what I found in my freezer, so this is what I'm going to be using. When it comes to soup, it really doesn't matter to me what type of meat. I just like my pea soup and that's all. So I'm going to slice it up, and I have here my red beans that I'm going to use. I'm just going to cut this up and rinse it off with some vinegar and lime, and then we're going to go over to the stove. So I have cut my beef in small squares. I am going to rinse them with some lime and vinegar, and then I'm going to add it to my pot along with my peas. So now I'm just gonna rinse my red peas, guys, and look at it. It's not as red as, you know, the Jamaican big red beans that you would use to make your rice and peas or your red pea soup, but nevertheless, I'm just gonna use them. So I've added my peas to cook, and I'm going to add my beef in there with it as well, so that they can cook together. And while this is cooking, I am going to add some scallion and some thyme and pimento, so that it can add flavor to the meat and the peas while it's cooking. Alright, so now I'm going to add my salt. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon of salt for right now, and then later on I would adjust it when I taste it. We're just going to cover this and allow everything to cook. As soon as this starts to boil, I'm just going to add some more water in it, so sink the peas, and then I'm going to go over and prepare my food that I'm going to put in my soup. So now my peas and my beef is boiling. I'm just going to add just a little bit of water just to sink the peas. So with my red pea soup, I love cornmeal dumplings in there, but I'm also going to make some spinners with just plain flour. So I'm going to start making my cornmeal dumpling. I'm just going to add flour, salt, cornmeal, and gradually add my water until I have a nice soft dough. I'm just going to add like a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to use my hands to combine everything. So this is the texture that I'm looking for. It's nice and soft, and it's not dry. All right, so I'm gonna get some nice small round cornmeal dumplings from these. I'm just gonna sprinkle some flour on this and cover. Usually when I'm making my dumpling, I just make some small ones about this size. So I'm just getting everything ready before I go over to the peas. So now that we get the cornmeal ones out of the way, we're gonna prepare our spinners as well. not gonna make a lot of spinners, so about that amount will do. Just a pinch of salt for this one. So this is my dough to make my little spinners. I'm gonna set it beside my cornmeal dumpling and then move on to peeling my food. So right here I have my chocho. It's a form of squash. Using Jamaican we call it chocho. And I have potatoes as well. I have this one sweet potato. I don't want to add any more, just this one, because you know it's very starchy and it's gonna make your soup thickens, and you don't want your soup over thick, so we're just gonna use one of that. I have these yellow yam on the fridge. As you can see, the color has changed. It's no longer yellow. As you can see, the color has changed. It's no longer yellow. I guess it's when air touches it, it oxidizes and it gets black if it's not kept in water. So I'm gonna see if these are good. I'm not sure. I might use some and throw away the darker ones. And I also have some white yam that was on the fridge as well, was on the freezer. I'm gonna use some of that. I have corns. I love corns in my soup. I'm just gonna use a few. So I'm just gonna peel all my food and cut up my veggies. Oh, carrots. I have my carrots in the fridge. I haven't taken them out as yet. But I love my carrot in my soup as well. Don't have any cocoa. I haven't been to the Asian store in a while, so I don't have any cocoa. And I don't like big pieces of food in my soup, so I normally cut them maybe this size, sometimes smaller depending. So now we have everything prepped and ready. I have my chocho, I have my white, no, these are my sweet potatoes, and I have my white yam, and I salvaged some pieces of yellow yam as well, my Scotch bonnet pepper, and my Irish potatoes. I also have my corns cut up and my carrots as well. So everything is prepped and ready to go in my pot. So it's time to add our dumpling. So now I'm just gonna make my dumplings and drop them in. I like to put in my cornmeal dumpling first so that the cornmeal can get time to cook. So now all my cornmeal dumplings are in. I'm just gonna stir the pot. Just gonna let this boil over and then I add my other food. So now I am just gonna dump in everything. I don't have any order in which I add my food. In my opinion, it's soup, and you can just dump in everything and let everything cook together. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and this is bringing back so much memory. Every time I cook soup, I remember my grandmother. Growing up in Jamaica, my grandmother always, as a little girl, my grandmother always cooked soup. She used to cook soup on Fridays, and then she started cooking soup on Saturdays. Like it's like a Jamaican thing. Every Saturday is most likely soup is gonna be cooking in a Jamaican home. So may her soul continue to sleep in peace, and happy soup Saturday, guys. So now I'm just going to make my little spinners. I just pinch a little piece, roll it in the palm of my hands and drop them in the pot. A young lady asked me last year to make a video on how to make dumplings. I think I have made about 3 dumpling videos since then. So I didn't really go into details because most people know how to make dumplings. Alright, so I'm just going to stir my pot, and then I am going to add my cock soup. Usually when I'm making this big pot of soup, I'll use 2 pack, but the others that I have in my cupboard is pumpkin, so I didn't want to add it to my soup. So what I'm gonna do is add some bouillon. If you have beef bouillon, that's perfect, but I have the chicken one. It doesn't matter to me, it's just flavor just the same. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon, and if it needs more, I will adjust the taste with salt, with a little bit more salt, or with a little bit more bouillon. But the taste was perfect, so it didn't need any more. I'm adding some scallion, thyme, and my Scotch bonnet pepper. So now to add the icing on top of the cake, yeah, I'm going to add a little coconut milk. I know some people is gonna knock me for this, but that's okay. Everyone cook different, but trust me, if you haven't tried, don't knock it until you have tried it. A little coconut milk in your red pea soup, it's so delicious. It just top it off, guys. Trust me, just try it if you haven't tried it before. Just a little bit, not too much to overpower the red peas. Just a little bit to add some nice creamy flavor to your soup. It's really good. So what I'm gonna do now at this point is turn my stove down on low, just so that my peas doesn't get stick to the bottom of my pot, and let it cook down. The coconut get time to cook. All right, so as soon as it's thickened to your desired consistency, then your soup is ready. And then I'm gonna put some in a bowl and just enjoy this, because it is so good, trust me. So there you have it, guys, my nice bowl of red pea soup with my beef, and everything was cooked to perfection. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and yeah, share the video with your family or a friend. And thank you so much for watching, guys, and stay safe, have a beautiful and blessed weekend, and show some love, and I'll see you guys in my next one.